This presentation is on the business value of information technology. The main objective of this presentation is to analyze the business value of the VistA program and how it has affected the Department of Veterans Affairs. Information technology has many benefits. It helps to improve the efficiency of everyday operations of many healthcare organizations. It also reduces the amount of medical errors. Though information technology is often considered cost-effective, many companies have experienced high costs associated with its implementation. Companies such as Gateway, Hershey, and Kmart have lost great amounts of revenue due to failed IT implementation. The problem often lies in the improper evaluation of IT. Therefore, it is important to improve the process of IT implementation and evaluation. This presentation will demonstrate an effective way of calculating the business value of information technology. In 1996, the Chief Information Office of the Department of Veterans Affairs introduced VistA, which stands for Veterans Health Information Systems and Technology Architecture. It is an award-winning IT system that supports day-to-day operations at local VA healthcare facilities. This system provides an integrated inpatient and outpatient electronic health record. It also provides administrative tools to deliver veterans the best quality medical care. The data used in this presentation was provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs in October of 2007 under the Freedom of Information Act. The data spans from fiscal years 1998 to 2004. It includes the IT investment, the number of records in VistA, and the cost per patient for each fiscal year. To analyze the data from the previous slide, scatter plots were created to illustrate the correlations between the various variables. There were three variables in particular. Correlation is used to determine the direction and strength of the relationship between two variables. Correlation ranges from -1 to 0 to 1. The absolute value of -1 and 1 is the strongest possible correlation. Trend lines and regression lines were used to determine the correlation values. In this graph, R squared is 0.796. The correlation between IT investment and cost per patient is the square root of this number, which is 0.892. This is considered a strong correlation value. This next graph demonstrates the correlation between the number of VistA records and the IT investment. The correlation value after taking the square root of 0.585 is 0.765. This last graph shows the correlation between the number of VistA records and cost per patient. The correlation is 0.566, which is the weakest of the three pairs. This table is a summary of the three previous scatter plots and illustrates the correlation values between the three variables. These results indicate that the strongest correlation lies between the IT investment and the cost per patient. The data was also analyzed for causation. In this situation, there were two possible scenarios. First, it was possible that the increased revenue due to lower cost per patient led to long-term IT investment. The second possibility was that the investment in information technology led to increased revenue, also known as lower cost per patient. To determine which situation was correct, the two equations displayed on the slides were used. The first equation includes the correlation between cost per patient and use of VistA minus the correlation between cost per patient and IT investment times the correlation between IT investment and use of VistA. This number ended up being -0.12. The second equation is a correlation between cost per patient and IT investment minus the correlation between IT investment and the use of VistA times the correlation between the use of VistA and cost per patient. The solution to this equation was 0.46. It is important to note that causation is strongest for values that are closest to 0. Due to the fact that the first scenario had the value closest to 0 at negative 0.12, this suggests that the increased revenue and lower cost per patient led to increased IT investment for the Department of Veterans Affairs. Therefore, the business value of information technology is significant and beneficial if implemented correctly. However, it is important to note that this data is limited and only includes a few years of data. Furthermore, the focus of this presentation is only on the Department of Veterans Affairs, and analyses of other organizations will likely have varying results. Nevertheless, the results shown are promising, and the correlation and causation relationships provide relatively clear examples and explanations of the impact of IT investment and the business value of IT.